What's going on, y'all? It's your boy D Sports. We got major breaking news late at night. Tonight, this news came in just about an hour or two ago. But Jamar Chase and T. Higgins have agreed to new mega 4-year extensions. Per Jordan Schultz, this news was first notified. I was first notified of this news by Underdog. Yes, the Underdog, the fantasy and slash betting app. But major breaking news: Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, the Bengals finally get their top two wide receivers extensions done. This has been a long process in the works, as y'all know, man. And we're gonna break this down. We're gonna cover it. We're gonna give you all the news and information you need. Thank you for watching D Sports. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. We'd really appreciate it. So first, let's get started. Let's start with Jamar Chase. Mega 4-year extension, 4 years, 161 million. It's a base salary of 40.25 million. He becomes the highest paid non-wide receiver in the NFL, and he resets the wide receiver market by a mile. Completely resets the wide receiver market. He is now the king of the wide receiver bankroll. So let's talk about it, right? Look, Jamar Chase, no surprises there. We knew he was going to get a big extension. He was long overdue for an extension. Wanted an extension in last year, did not get one. Took him a couple games in 2024 to get going, but after like week 3, he immediately took off and had his best season in one of the greatest wide receiver seasons. I think he's only one of 7 wide receivers all time to triple crown in the NFL. So major props to Jamar Chase. And look, I mean, the talent, it speaks for itself. He's a top 2, if not the best wide receiver, in my opinion, in the NFL. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 1 Rookie of the Year in 2021. Last year, 127 catches, 708 yards, 17 touchdowns in his career, 395 catches, 5,424 yards, and 46 touchdowns. Averages over 13.7 yards per reception. This dude is absolutely a monster. Go watch his games, especially versus the Ravens and the Chiefs. He absolutely destroys them, and he really just does it to anybody in the league. Jamar Chase has just proven to be a straight up superstar. He is a top-notch wide receiver in the game. And to me, this was long overdue for the Bengals. I'm glad they finally got this done because, again, Jamar Chase, he's well deserving of this deal. He should have been paid last year, in my opinion, but they didn't get that done. But this time he gets paid. Now it's interesting because he now is the highest paid non-receiver in the NFL. I also believe he got the most guaranteed money at signing. So I want to list out a couple things. So Myles Garrett got a 4-year, $160 million deal from the Browns when they extended him after his trade request to keep him in Cleveland. And Myles Garrett got over 122.796 million at signing in total guaranteed money. And then at guaranteed, he got 88.8 at signing, and then 122.796 million total guaranteed. Justin Jefferson, well, obviously his last deal was 4 years, 140. He got 88.7 million at signing, fully guaranteed, and total guaranteed. He has 110 million guaranteed. So Jamar Chase gets 122 total guaranteed, which is second. And I believe probably his total guaranteed at signing will probably be around that 89 to $90 million range, which would put him at number 1. But he's most deserving of this deal, no doubt about it. And Jamar Chase, again, Pro Bowlers, All Pro, and he's going to be great as long as he stays healthy, which he has proven to be. He hasn't missed a lot of time. I think he's only missed about 4, 5, 6 games in his career. He has been on the field. He's been very productive. He's an elite wide receiver. He's among the top, and he is certainly he and Joe Burrow will continue their partnership, their bond, that duo will be together. But also, Joe Burrow will also be throwing to T. Higgins for the next 4 years as well. T. Higgins gets a 4-year, $115 million deal, $28.75 million guaranteed. He becomes the highest paid second wide receiver in the NFL, or number 2 per se, over Jalen Waddle, who was over $28 million as well. But congratulations to T. Higgins. Last year, I think he missed 2 to 3 games, but in 2024, 73 catches, 911 yards, 10 touchdowns. He has 2 1,000-yard seasons under his belt. He's proven to be a number 1 wide receiver. When Jamar Chase missed time, I think it was in 2022, he proved it, and he stepped up to be a number 1 wide receiver. He's been with Joe Burrow before Jamar Chase. He was drafted with Joe Burrow in 2020, when the Bengals took Joe Burrow first overall in 2020 in that draft. And then obviously they took T. Higgins with the 33rd overall pick in the same draft. So these two have also been together longer in the NFL. Obviously, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they go back to their LSU days. So they obviously that top chemistry continues, but still T. Higgins is a very important part. The Bengals made it clear they wanted to keep T. Higgins. And then obviously in his career, T. Higgins has 330 catches since 2020, 330 catches, 44,595 yards, 34 touchdowns. He was placed on the franchise tag last year, played on it. It was over $23 million. This year, it went up to 26.2. If he were not to get an extension, would have played on that or would have been on that. Instead, they get him done. And obviously, with the Bengals not getting these extensions done, it creates a bit it drops their cap space, creates some cap flexibility, right? Getting these deals done, especially for T. Higgins, who was set to play on that fully guaranteed franchise tag. So getting these guys paid was a priority for the Bengals. T. Higgins also read a post on Twitter. He posted the handshake, like the business handshake. We're in business, job well done, we're locked in. So T. Higgins, right, gets paid, and to me, like I said, on a bunch of other teams, pretty much on a wide receiver needing team in the NFL right now, he'd be a number one wide receiver. To me, he's not even a number two. He's a complete 1B in the NFL right now, and he'd be a number one on many other teams. So congratulations to both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and great job at the Bengals finally getting this done. They should have been got this done where they wouldn't have to probably pay them as much, but nonetheless, they're worth every penny of it, Mike, especially Jamar Chase getting his big bag as well. Now, this is going to be interesting, right? And I want to talk about this for the Bengals. So for the Bengals, now that you have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow, your core, you have your offensive core locked up. You basically have your core pieces of your franchise now locked up. I think now the odd man out to me is most clearly Trey Henderson. I think the Bengals are going to work to trade him, and I think they're going to work now immediately to get him traded. And I think it's best at this point to get some key draft assets. The Bengals need a lot of help. I was just talking to my boy Landon, who's a Bengals fan. The biggest thing I told him, and I told my boy Telly Dove, I said, man, look, the Bengals need to draft straight defense. All their draft picks, if not at bare minimum, if they have 10, 8 of them need to be drafted. 8 of them need to be on defense. All like basically they need to draft straight defense. I'll let them take like 2 offensive linemen or 2 offensive players, but after that, it better be straight defense. If they take more than 2 players on offense, it's gonna be a problem because what are you doing? You need straight help on defense, and I think trading Trey Hendrickson, adding to your draft vault and getting, in my opinion, I think they would receive a second round pick for a guy who's been a defensive player of the year and sack leader the last 2 years. I think they'll get significant draft capital for him. Look out for the Washington Commanders or potentially the Atlanta Falcons or the Lions, edge rusher needing teams who need edge rushing help. So look for those teams to get Trey Hendrickson while he's available on the trade market. And I think and Trey Hendrickson, I wouldn't be shocked too. He'll get a big deal as well. I don't think it'll be nowhere near where Jamar Chase and Myles Garrett got, but it'll certainly be in that range what Max Crosby got. It'll be, if not higher, then just a bit lower. Trey Henderson deserves a major pay raise because he's playing well below his value. Right now, he's playing on the last year of like a 4-year, $60 million contract. That is very, very underwhelmingly undervalued for his caliber of play and for his position. So getting Trey, that's why he's been wanting to get paid, but obviously the Bengals, they prioritize T. Higgins more. It's understandable, but obviously you are losing a major part, potentially losing your major part of your defense. Not even potentially, you are if you were to trade Trey Hendrickson. And again, but I think at this point it makes sense. Look, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense at all. You've now paid Joe Burrow, which he did rightfully so. You've paid Joe Burrow, you've paid Jamar Chase, you paid them. They're making over $130+ million combined on the offensive side of the ball. And there's been the jokes around, right? It's straight offense and there's just going to be no defense. The Bengals are going to have to score mad points versus everybody, but it's true. They got, and that's what I'm saying. My point is too, they need to straight up draft straight. I'm not even playing. This is serious. They need to draft straight defense in the draft. It's no doubt about it. You've locked up, your offense is set. As long as these guys stay healthy, your offense is fine. They need to add straight depth on every level in the ball, defensive line, front seven, linebacker, corner, especially the secondary. Their secondary needs a lot of help, and they're going to need some edge rushing help. I have them taking right now James Pierce, the edge rusher from Tennessee, to replace Trey Hendrickson. And obviously later in the draft, they'll just continue to add more depth and more potential starters on defense because they need help. They also need their other top draft picks that they've drafted over the past to step up, like a Miles Murphy, who they took in the first round, like a Daxton Hill, who's been injury prone a bit, but he needs to step up. They've taken some players high. They just need them to step up. A Chris Jenkins, who they took in the second round. They're going to need these guys to step up because yeah. Was it DJ Turner from Michigan? Like a lot of these guys they've taken, they need them to step up and actually play some good football because they're spending high picks on some premium positions and they're not really getting the job done. And that's why their defense has been underwhelming the last out, especially last year, that is. So they need to step up, get it well. And this takes me back to my video. So I made a video, as y'all know, called basically which players could potentially reset the market at their positions. And Jamar Chase was one of those players that I talked about, and I talked about too, and I expected it. And I'm actually happy that I can say I predicted this right. He would get an extension worth 40, potentially. I said it was about 36 to $40 million. He gets 40.25. Miles Garrett, same thing. I predicted him to reset the market or one player at his position to reset the market. He completely is he set the market. And I don't think unless Michael Parsons gets a bigger contract extension, which we're still waiting on for the Dallas Cowboys, they're not probably going to get that done until like later on in the summer. So we'll see about Michael Parsons. The Dallas Cowboys need to hurry up and pay him though. He deserves the contract extension, especially seeing what Jamar Chase got. So we'll see about that there. I talked about too Trey Hendrickson potentially resetting the market. I don't expect him now to reset the market at his position, but he most certainly will get a big pay raise wherever that is, whether with Cincinnati, which I highly doubt, or with someone else, which I do expect. By the way, I did do some research. Washington has over $20 million in cap space. They could look out for Washington. They have been making moves. They traded a lot of draft picks. They are all in. Jaden Daniels is on a rookie contract for the next 2 years, and they have him on his fifth year option, and which could too be higher obviously with the market going up and the salary cap going up, but I do expect them to extend him when that time comes. So but now you're seeing not even two just players reset the market, right? Like Jamar Chase or at the time a Miles Garrett. You're seeing these players become the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. So quarterback completely right, especially the top quarterbacks who are getting paid like the Dak Prescotts, the Trevor Lawrences, the Joe Burrows, the Jordan Loves, the guys who are making 55 to $60 million a year. You're seeing those guys in that category, right? Obviously, they're at their position making quarterbacks, and then you have Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and others making 50 plus million. Josh Allen is another guy, another name, top name, MVP, right? Making 55 plus $1 million a year. So him, add him to the, equation. But that's the quarterback position. But you're seeing guys, right, like a Max Crosby, like Miles Garrett, and now you're seeing Jamar Chase now be the highest paid non-receiver in the NFL. Justin Jefferson was the highest paid non-receiver last year. Now you're seeing his counterpart, Jamar Chase, now reset that market and be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. So again, this is well deserved. And me and my dad, we even talked about this too, what potentially his value was going to be. And we expected it to be about 40 to something $1 million. And he was going to overtake Miles Garrett per rumors that he was going to be the highest paid, per Bleacher Report, the highest paid non-receiver in the NFL. So definitely, congratulations to them. It makes a ton of sense. And again, right off the accomplishments, everything speaks for itself. And now Jamar Chase, we'll see him continue long as he stays healthy, continue to dominate with the Bengals, and also same with T. Higgins. T. Higgins, finally getting his extension done, not having to play on that franchise tag for the second straight year, I think is very business well done for the Bengals, getting these guys locked up, keeping that core with Burrow They also have a young up and coming back in Chase Brown, who you could add to that equation as well. He was third, I think, in scrimmage yards. So they have their offense is set. They've got Orlando Brown. They've got a young tackle. If he can stay healthy, my boy Amarius Mims, I'm seeing the Georgia shirt right here. Amarius Mims of Dogs. He got to step up and stay healthy, but my opinion could be a really good tackle for them. And then, like I said, maybe just add at least an offensive lineman or two in the draft. But after that, straight defense, like defense, man. So you gotta add to the defense. But I'm gonna end this video here, man. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they finally get their extensions, 4 years. Jamar Chase gets 4 years, 161 million, 161 million dollars. Can barely speak. It's pretty late. And then obviously T. Higgins, 4 years, 115. First 2 years, fully guaranteed. And then Jamar Chase, 112 million guaranteed, second highest in the NFL under Miles Garrett. So congratulations to them. I'm D Sports. Thank you guys for watching my video again. Like, comment, subscribe, share. We very, very much appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. Stay blessed. Peace.